chicken biryani, palak paneer, masala dosa, or it may be soya chap. You would have ordered such foods from the various food apps, and you are interested in unimportant questions rather than important questions. The questions like, why is my food delivery so late? Why the portion size is so small? Why the quantity as well as quality is so poor? But we are not even affected and neither interested in some of the important questions which are associated with our agriculture. The questions like, where did this basmati rice come from? Where did this tomato for sambar come from? And why are the tomato prices in the market so high? So to discuss that, welcome to Oliveboard. I am Suraj. I am your faculty for agriculture and rural development, and today we are going to discuss one of the important topic to start with, that is to know A to Z about Indian agriculture for Nabard exam. So we will know everything in this brief stipulated time about agriculture for Nabard exam. Before that, let me bring to you to our app as well as our YouTube channel. You can also get all the resources as well as premium content for all the exams. Then now let's continue to our discussion. I am assured that all of you have ordered different foods on these food apps, but you were not interested in the important questions, but rather you were interested in portion size, कि मेरा खाना लेट क्यों आ रहा है, कि भाई इतना ही एक लेग पीस ही क्यों आया है जो मैंने बिरयानी मंगाई है, इतना छोटा पोर्शन क्यों है, दो ही रोटियां क्यों आई है. But we are not interested in the questions like, where did this basmati rice, which is famous all over India, came from? Similarly, how many liters of water is required for the growth of sugarcane and other crops? Why are the tomatoes expensive in the market? We are not bothered by this question, and do you know why? Because we are not interested in agriculture and we just don't care about Indian agriculture. Okay? But for all the Nabard students, this shouldn't be the case. Before preparing for Nabard Grade A exam, you should know everything about Indian agriculture. And the story of Indian agriculture starts here, that why is Indian agriculture important. So first thing to understand is that we are a country with very huge population. So try to understand, with such a huge population, which is about 17.76% of the world population, which eats 3 meals per day. Okay? But that population, in spite ईटिंग 3 meals पर डे, 3 बार दिन में खाना खाकर भी हमें कोई भी लेना देना नहीं है कि खाना हमारे प्लेट में कहां से आ रहा है. We don't care where is this food coming from on our plates, and neither do we care from where do we get the food which we are eating. And the answer is, of course, our Indian agriculture. The story of Indian agriculture starts since history, not today, but since history, from the legendary songs like Mere Desh Ki Dharti to legendary Bollywood movie of Mother India, and even our ex-PM Lal Bahadur Shastri quoting Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. This shows us how important agriculture is for the country like India. When you move towards some of the facts to understand the importance of agriculture, let me show you some of the important facts. If you see the country like India and its huge population, more than 50% of workforce is in the agriculture employed. Similarly, more than 70% of rural households are dependent on agriculture and allied activities. And at the same time, overall agriculture as an occupation, it creates $500 billion of agri economy. And mind you, this $500 billion is more than the GDP of some countries. So that's how big Indian agriculture is. But do you know what happened in the history of Indian agriculture? The days were not as golden as we are seeing today. The Indian agriculture starts from the independence of the country. After India being independent, India faced various famines, various droughts, as well as 3 different wars. So therefore, famines, drought, war, this resulted into scarcity of food grains. The population was large. India was not having a good functioning agriculture. There were some fundamental and structural problems. The food produce was not that it could feed the population which was at that time. So therefore we had to beg at the Western countries. इंडिया को भीख मांगनी पड़ी थी इवन फूड ग्रेन्स के लिए यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के पास. So you could see these news clippings which shows you that there is a hunger problem. भूखमरी हो गई थी इंडिया में after the independence. India spread its hands to United States of America, and United States of America, considering India as not just developing country but underdeveloped country, gave us the food grains. This story of India being food deficient, that was changed after the Green Revolution. हमने Green Revolution में क्या देखा? That technology was added to our agricultural activities. Apart from that, high yielding varieties which increase our production fourfolds. Okay, that also was the most important substance in the Green Revolution. Apart from that, infrastructural developments for irrigation, also overall infrastructures which provided and improved the resources as an input for the Indian agriculture. It may be fertilizers, it may be water resources, it may be irrigation resources, etc. All this clubbed together in the year of 1960s to 1990s, Green Revolution became a boom. The good news was, yes, the Green Revolution worked. The Green Revolution turned the situation upside down. It turned India as a food deficit country to a surplus country. India जिसके खाने के लाले थे food grains में, अब India एक high producing country बन गया. Okay? So Indian agriculture was transformed by the Green Revolution. हमने जब देखा था 1960s 70s में, जब भूखमरी की वजह से हमारे पास खाने के लिए खाना नहीं था, that was reverted, that was changed by Green Revolution, and today we became one of the biggest exporters of the agricultural products. So major agri exporter of the world India has become. At the same time, food production after Green Revolution in these 4 or 5 decades has become 6 times. Not only that, India exports 7% of the total food produce in the world. So this is how total Indian agriculture, from being food deficit, India has become a food surplus country. At the same time, if you see, India has become rank 1 in milk, in sugar, as well as in potatoes. Then also India is rank 2 in various cereal crops or food grains, horticultural crops like fruits and vegetables, as well as in cotton. So this is how India, from being a food deficit country, today we are at the top of different agricultural commodities. If you see, after discussing the history of India, looking at the development, now let us see that what actually is the fundamental and structural problem in the Indian agriculture. You would see, yes, India had its agricultural crisis and today we have improved from that, but yet I will tell you, the Indian agriculture is still not optimally used. And why I am saying that? Look at here. फिर भी Indian agriculture में कुछ ना कुछ problem है, और ये मैं क्यों कह रहा हूँ? Simple. 40% of farmland area is only under Indian agriculture. Remaining 60% is inefficiently used. Similarly, 1/3 of food produce doesn't even reach the consumer because of the logistical and post-harvest losses. 4 tons of rice per hectare is the average production in the country, whereas if you compare with China, China has 7 to 8 tons of rice per hectare. This shows us कि India की agricultural efficiency कम है, and at the same time still the fundamental lacunas as well as structural problems are there in Indian agriculture. Also, there are certain other problems which are clinging to Indian agriculture. The fragmentation of land, जो जमीन है agriculture की, वो बढ़ गई है. From 2.3 hectares average in 1970s, it has become 1.1 hectare in the year of 2015. You would have seen in the newspaper the news of farmer suicides. You would also have seen farmer sitting on the dharnas and for revolting against the Indian government. What is this Indian agricultural crisis which we see in the newspaper? ये agricultural crisis है क्या? It's nothing but India has some of its challenges which are clinging to the Indian agriculture, and therefore our agricultural produce or our total agricultural efficiency is not as good as the developed countries. If you see, professional change which has happened in the 1970s, 80s, where the employment which was generated in the primary sector in agriculture, that has directly shifted to the tertiary sector. This is because of the lack of profitability in the agriculture and higher risks. Apart from external climatic invariabilities, the problems like fragmented land holdings agricultural marketing, okay? Therefore, whatever diverse food products are there, those are not reaching the foreign markets. Inadequate transport and storage, logistical problems, storage problems, okay? Technological problems, lack of technology in post harvesting. These are various problems which are associated with the agricultural crisis. Other economic problems such as debt crisis, informal lendings, okay? So this has resulted the agricultural crisis in the country. What are the solutions? The solutions have been even given by various institutions like Nabard, as well as Nabard is also acting and has rolled out a plan for solving all these agricultural crises which we mentioned now. But why India would be one of the important regions in the future? Simple. As we all know, climate change has become a matter of concern. At the same time, as we all know, India is the biggest market of the world. But mind you, India is also one of the largest agricultural producer of the world. And where we know that the Third World War may happen for either water or either food, now maybe you could anticipate that India's role in agricultural production would be much more higher. जब हमें पता ही है कि पॉपुलेशन बढ़ते जा रहा है, रिसोर्सेस पूरी दुनिया में कम है, तो खाना और पानी ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं. इसीलिए इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. Geographical diversity and unique soil conditions, 15 agroclimatic zones which are suitable for growing variable produce, 2 major agricultural seasons which makes it possible that any crop under the sun could be grown in the country, efficient use of resources. All these are holistic solutions through which we can increase our agricultural produce not just twofold but threefold. Even the talks of evergreen revolution or green revolution 2.0 are there, where we are sustainably trying to improve the agricultural conditions. Then comes the talk of the day, that is about Nabard. Nabard is the apex organization in context of agriculture and rural development. Though there are some people who say that Nabard एक बैंक है, मैं यहाँ पर differ करूँगा. Nabard is the apex financial and rural development institution. So therefore, it not just looks at the credit functions, but it also has developmental functions. It also has rural infrastructure function. It also has supervision and regulatory functions. Therefore, in all, when you will join as a Nabard Grade B officer, you would be doing two important roles. First is policy framework, then is of course field work and supervision and regulation. So therefore, in today's lecture, I hope you understood what is the agricultural scenario in the country, and at the same time, what is the role of Nabard and how Nabard is trying to improve the agriculture scenario that we are going to see in the next class. So Nabard, how it is transforming Indian agriculture, we'll see it in future, and therefore I end the lecture here now. I hope this was very informative for you. For all the Nabard Grade B aspirants as well as students who are preparing for Nabard Grade B exam, I hope you got a glimpse, a picture of what questions you should be caring about and from where the food is coming on your plate. Thank you.